Hey everyone, Solomon AD here. Just a follow-up from my last video about spirit resonance versus full-blown evocation. But real quick, sign up for the Patreon if you're into monthly Mayan rituals. I put some bonus content on there as well. Solomon AD Spiritual Services for consultations with Ritual for Hire. Hit me up. So I want to talk about, a lot of people get turned off by grimoire style like ritual procedure because of things like confession of sins, isolation, and the topic I want to talk today, which was fasting. Fasting, I have implemented on its own, and I've done fasting for ritual too, but I was able to take fasting for longer when I kind of isolated it. And I just want to say that there is a benefit to fasting, and if you're an occultist, if you're a magician or a witch, you should try it. And this is the reason why. The longest I fasted for was about 7 days. Around day 7, I got into a flow state. Now, what this flow state did for me is that it put me in an altered state of consciousness. Getting into an altered state of consciousness helps with ritual, helps with magic. If you saw my interview with Azariel Flame, you will know that I'm a big fan of caffeine as a mind-altering drug. Because it does, and we have historical proof. If you want to know more about that, check out the interview. When I hit that 7-day flow state, manifestations, simple manifestations became easier. They became almost effortless. There's also a caveat to that, because it was about 50% of like what the manifestations I saw were actual things that I could project. Like my projection of ideas. The other 50% was actually because fasting allowed me to shift my perceptions and my perspectives, to basically reevaluate if the things I was asking for were actually helpful to me or not. Were they things I actually wanted? And then when I would reach the conclusion that they were not, I kind of just discarded them and moved on. Therefore, the manifestation, the pressures of the manifestation were relieved, and the desire for the outcome was gone. So essentially, it solved my problem. And that's the real takeaway from fasting. If you isolate it on its own, I believe is a real benefit to you. Now, say you don't want to fast for 7 days. I think the sweet spot's probably 2 to 3 days. If you're going to do it for a ritual, a custom like ritual that you do on your own, and you're not sticking to a specific grimoire, I'd say fasting for 24 hours is good enough. It allows for like some kind of clearing of blockages, and it works. I could probably go on, but that's the concept. That's the real takeaway from fasting. I think everybody should do it. It'll really clear up a lot of perceptions, because it feeds into the old adage that we don't even know what we want. We have all these archonic pressures and these advertisements telling us to buy this and we need this in order to be happy, or we start to identify with products and things like that, start to identify with media. Fasting is a way to actually detach from that and to detach from the world, because it's putting you in an altered state. Why? Because when you stop intaking calories, your body goes into survival mode. Similar to how, like, when you take caffeine, you're in an uppity state. So that's all I got for now. Comment, like, share, subscribe. Continue the discussion. Don't forget the Patreon. Don't forget spiritual services, consults, and ritual for hire. I'll see you guys next time.